I'm Xana from Fantasy Fox. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm starting my YouTube channel to grow a community of LARPers on the YouTube platform. I want to be able to help people get into the game and maybe understand it a bit better. Also for more experienced LARPers to be able to help people progress and enjoy their game. So today I'm going to be discussing what LARP is and what the history behind UK LARP is. I know that it is strongly contested about the history of where LARP started. However, I will get more into detail about the history in a moment. First of all, let's start with what is LARP? LARP. Live, action, roleplay. Some people spell this LRP and some people spell this LARP. LARPing is a roleplay game where participants physically enact out the goals of their character. This is usually set in a sort of fantasy setting and is mediated by game rules, referees, and sometimes other players. For me, it's a bunch of people going into a field in fancy dress with their fancy hitty sticks and having a bit of fun for the weekend. Most commonly in the UK, you will go to events set up by organisations or clubs. These can also be run by single people wanting to run small LARPs. There's a lot that goes into LARP events. However, the game would be nothing without a set of rules, some players, some volunteers and referees. Over the years, I've done a few LARPs, from fest games to smaller and medium games. I've NPC'd, I've refereed, I've played, and I absolutely love to play. My two main games that I personally play are Curious Pastimes, or CP for short, and Empire. These are two vastly different fest systems, and fest systems can come in all shapes and sizes, and there can be some crossover, but ultimately the reason you play the game is because you enjoy it. Remember, all LARP is only a game. The first thing that most people advise you to do when you are looking at coming to LARP is to read the rulebook. Sometimes the rulebook can be very, very daunting. It can be big, it can be full of things you don't understand or know, and sometimes people aren't able to explain those things to you, or at least in a way that may be able to get into your head. I know I certainly struggled when I was looking at starting LARP to understand what monstering was. I didn't understand the difference at all. My friend was desperately trying to get me to understand what monstering was. A lot of the time, other LARPers are very, very helpful and say to you, if in doubt, fall down. I mean, 9 times out of 10, if someone is going to come running at you and they're shouting something in your face, you're either going to run away or you're going to fall down. Those are the options. Now, that isn't to say someone's just going to come run shouting at you. What it means is sometimes in the heat of battle, someone's going, "Ah!" I always recommend that you read the rules so you have a basic understanding of the rules, the background of the LARP you are going to, the lore, any magical things, anything that may be relevant to you knowing as your character. If you are going in as a very naive character who doesn't know much about the world, that is okay. A lot of the systems that I go to, they run a new player brief, which is also open to those who have been going to LARP for a lot longer, so it is good to brush up on the skills because they will go over the rules so that you understand what to do if someone shouts something at you. A lot of the time that some of the smaller LARP systems, they don't have a specific time. They make sure that just before time in, everyone remembers the rules. They go through all of it, regardless of if you've been to that system more than once. Make sure that when you get to your LARP event, that you also check out GOD, the Games Organisation Desk. If you want more information about Curious Pastimes or Empire, I will leave links down in the description below for their website so you can find out more. The best way to view LARP is that it is a story. You are part of this story. You interact just by being there. You affect that story by your actions. That story can go from 0 to 100 in literally 2 seconds just by speaking to the right person, or even finding that twig, because sometimes that's all it is. That is down to the plot writers to decide whether your actions have made an impact. Make sure what you do makes you happy as you're playing the game, you've paid the money, you enjoy yourself. It's a holiday! The one thing LARPers truly agree on in terms of the history of LARP is it came from Dungeons & Dragons. There are several shows such as Big Bang Theory and Stranger Things which show people playing the game. It is essentially a similar style of game. Instead of going to a big field with lots of people, you are just in a room with your friends, rolling dice and having fun as your characters. You still get to act out those characters, just not in as much of a physical way. In the UK, the first documented LARP is called Treasure Trap. It ran from 1982 to 1985. Unis and clubs still go under the name of Treasure Trap, even though the original game no longer truly exists. But this doesn't mean that the game is over if they are still running it in these universities and clubs. There is lots of information on the web about Treasure Trap LARP. If you just do a quick Google, I can leave a couple of links below in the description about it. If you are a Treasure Trap player from the original game, I would love to hear your thoughts down below about Treasure Trap as a game and the continuation from these unis/clubs. There is so much media out in the world, even from the 80s to now, of things that can be referenced at LARP because they are appropriate for the time and setting. If you are an experienced LARPer and you've had media influence the way that you play your characters, dress your characters, I'd like to hear your comments down below. On my travels through Google, I found a Wikipedia page that a person has very kindly collaborated together every single LARP that they could find from the beginning to 2015. I'll leave a link in the description because you never know, there might be a game in there that's still running just for you. In future videos, I want to start discussing the different styles of characters and the different styles of LARP and the multitude of things that there are to talk about LARP and LARP related things, including just being a little bit of a nerdy girl. So that is all I have today for this video. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up, it would really help me, and maybe subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell thing. A new video will be coming soon, and I hope to see you soon. Bye!